Hey guys, it's Dan from DisneyInfinityCodes.com with another Disney Infinity playset figure review. And here we've got Lone Ranger, the one and only. Unfortunately, not really loved by a lot of people in terms of its film, but universally loved by the Disney Infinity community for being one of the most creative and expansive most entertaining playsets. People really, really love the Lone Ranger playset. And how can you not? You've got horses, you've got the desert, you've got lots to explore and a really big, expansive territory. You know, it really is a fun playset. So if you're on the fence about it and you didn't really like the movie, strongly recommend this playset because it is super fun. A lot of people compare it to like a Red Dead Redemption almost, although a lot of the folks out there who are playing this game should not be playing Red Dead Redemption. Too violent. So don't even, just forget I said it, all right? But here we go. We've got Lone Ranger, we've got Tonto, and we've got this awesome little playset piece, which is, of course, the tomahawk and the pistol, and the this nice little Lone Ranger sheriff's badge there. And these are two fun characters because they, it's a playset that only has two figures in it, which is, definitely unique to the Disney Infinity world. There aren't any other playsets out there. They're just two figures. So it comes in its own little package. And it's nice because of the way it's packaged. You immediately have access to all those vaults, all the unlocks. You don't have to go out there and buy a bunch of other figures, which is a nice little other bonus perk when it comes to this playset, which we certainly recommend. But so here we go. Let's take a look. We've got, of course, we've got the Lone Ranger. And never take off the mask. I really didn't. I liked the film. I have to say, I didn't mind it at all. I don't know what everyone was all bummed out about and complaining about, but he's got his mask, got his badge, he's got a 6-shooter on his hip. He's in an action pose. He's got a little bit of a. I like his jacket because it's got a little bit of a windy blowing effect to it, which is super cool. It's got a nice little effect to it. But it brings the character to life pretty well. I mean, they've obviously stylized these characters because you have to, because they're real people. They're not, animated characters or anything like that. So you have to give it a little bit of a certain Infinity spin. But they did it pretty well. I mean, these characters are brought to life and look just like they do in the movie, more or less. He's got his nice hat, kimosabi. So there you go, his bandana. Really is a nice little. He's got his two little. It's hard to see because the other one, his hands are over it. But funny story, when we got this character, and this is our only Infinity character to actually officially break on us, this arm here, fell right out. As soon as we unboxed him, something must have happened when we glued them together, but we're lucky. They kind of snaps together like a little, all these figures snap together like a little model. So I don't know what the deal was there, why, I don't know if we had some bad glue or had something bad, but there he is. There's the Lone Ranger. And then Tonto. Forgot to mention with the Lone Ranger, he's got his special attack. 1.0. They really didn't do a lot of fancy character development in terms of their attacks and any kind of special traits or whatnot. But Lone Ranger's got his 6-shooter, which is great. He's got his two little pistols there that you can use to fight the bad guys. And then you've got Tonto here, and his attack, of course, is the tomahawk. How can it not be? He's got that big boy right there, ready to fight the bad guys. But Tonto's great. I especially love this little bird. Almost has like a little bit of a Hector Barbosa feel, where you get a little bit of a 2-in-1 with a character and an animal along with the figure. And while he is, watch the movie. Just watch the whole movie. You'll get the bird. It's a little interesting, and he's got this nice little pose. It definitely captures Johnny Depp really, really nicely, and his unique stance. Not a lot of characters have this unique pose, but then he's got that belt around his waist. He's got the little armband. He's got his nice Native American garb there, and the face paint is really great. A lot of detail went into that face paint. Let's take a nice little. Just get my arm out of the way of the light. Come on, get it together, would you? There we go. It's got a nice little face paint detail there. A lot put into that, which we like it a lot. So there you go. There is Tonto. And then let's take a look at the playset piece. Nice little up-close look. It's, pretty straightforward. It really blends nicely. You've got a nice little rock there. You've got the 6-shooter. You've got the tomahawk. You've got the sheriff's badge. There's not a lot to explain here with this one. It's pretty straightforward. Pretty obvious what's going on here with this the playset piece. And we love the playset pieces. They definitely they really summarize the playset nicely. It's one of our favorite things that are designed in the whole game. They don't get nearly as much praise, and people don't really talk about them nearly as much. And then, of course, we've got here alongside the crystal variant for the Lone Ranger. These crystal variants are Toys R Us exclusives, so you have to only available at Toys R Us. And if your Toys R Us doesn't have them, I believe they're still available online. And but most large Toys R Us still have a fairly decent stock of crystal variants. And then you can always wander around and find them occasionally at GameStops in the used bin and whatnot. But for those budget collectors out there, you don't necessarily need the crystal variants in order to unlock all the stuff in the game. But they do add they have their own little spot in the Hall of Heroes, and this character, the crystal variants, really, it stands out like the paint on the character and the paint job. And so if there's any mistakes or errors, they really stand out. So when you're buying your crystal characters, make sure you really get a good look at them inside the package and make sure you're happy with them and the paint job they've got. Before you purchase it, there they are, side by side. It's funny how clearly both the same color in terms of the paint job, but he almost looks like he's got a nice little spray tan. It doesn't really show in the video that well, but his face looks a lot more orangey for the and he very well might be. Who knows? They might have had a little bit of a paint variance because how white he is in this one, it might have looked a little funny. But there you go. I do enjoy the crystal variants and how they painted them, how they have these little select features that they decided to paint on them, and left some things unpainted, and it is fun. So there you go. So you've got, put him back here. It's got the Lone Ranger. You've got Tonto. You've got the Playset piece. So thanks for watching, Kimosabi. And of course, check out DisneyInfinityCodes.com. Every week we get the best deals across all the top retailers and provide them to you so you can make the best purchases, get the best price matching across the board, save the most money. And every week we give away web codes, power discs, all that kind of fun stuff. So make sure you check in, like, subscribe, all that fun, magical stuff. And thanks for watching. We appreciate it, guys. Maybe the video won't stop recording.